Great. Kelvin Young, very, very laid back there. It's your time.
Well,
Calvin Young, commercial drone specialist. I mean, his resume is too long to talk about. We can't do that. But urban farm specialist with Entrepreneurs Academy, and probably 100 other things that he does. And I wanted Kelvin Young to join us this evening because I'm interested. I'm not going out and learning the drones and doing the drones, but I felt that uh, it wasn't the response that I wanted towards Entrepreneurs Academy because people are failing to understand the significance of what can happen learning this particular trade. Uh, this is not about just going in your backyard and getting a little drone from Kmart and flying it around. This is uh, a specialty. Entrepreneurs Academy has created a class, I think it's 12 weeks, and I'm going to let him explain it, that shows you how to operate a commercial drone business. So this is not fun and games. This is a serious thing. Starting from scratch and going to the ownership of a commercial drone business that we are just at the tip of utilizing these drones in a way that we're not going to even imagine in about 10 years. And I'm having difficulty getting people to fathom that and understand it. But that's not the only thing we're having difficulty getting people to do. But I'm like, do you understand what we're talking about? And they're missing it, Calvin. So I'm gonna turn this over to you, Calvin, and you tell us what you're doing over there at Entrepreneurs Academy.
first of all, I want to say I'm very proud to represent Entrepreneurs Academy, where I report and do some amazing things with Phil and Vince over at Entrepreneurs Academy. I teach drone technology, which in the drone world they call UAV, unmanned aerial vehicles. And I'm also, we've got several initiatives in the urban farming categories where we're building out urban farms in Chicago, out in the Harvey community and out west. So I'm very proud to say I'm part of that. And we're doing something very revolutionary where we're making smart farms. And with the smart farms, we're able to track and data log critical data that keeps our plants alive. But on the UAV or drone side, we give two classes where I teach them. And we also have a class where we give it in Spanish. So if we know some Spanish speakers that wants to take the class, we offer that. We're probably the only Spanish speaking drone class in the Chicagoland area. And I'll have Phil correct me if I'm wrong. But all right, but anyway, so I give two classes of drones. One is the part 101, drone 101, where I introduce you to the plethora of drone applications out in the communities now. And these are things that every single industry these days, as you may know, are touching drones, from agriculture, medicine, you name it, food delivery. They're being used. However, our brown and black communities are not on the bandwagon yet. So I give the first class to really explore what the different applications are. The second class, which I call part 2, is where I teach our students how to certify with their part 107. So you have to take a test administered by the FAA. And with this license, part 107, you're able to fly or make money commercially. And that's what we're doing, and that's what we're teaching our students that come through our drone program. So at a high level, that's what we're doing in the drone space. I'll pause there for any questions.
Amani had her hands raised. Unmute yourself, Amani. You got a question?
I did. That was with, well, I just wanted to comment. I learned a lot from Mr. Bill Houston in regards to crowdfunding, because it was something that we were considering. My daughter didn't really like the interest rates that they were talking about at Honeycomb, but you highlighted something that made sense, in that when people invest in a company, they see it as, because it is a part of their company, so they have a vested interest, and then they want to make sure that they're a part of seeing that company grow. Another thing that you made me think of is what you all were talking about earlier with AI. I joined the TBM 360 AI program, and with that I've learned to I've been able to capture my customers. So many of you, I don't know if you know our company, but we were in stores like Whole Foods, Pete's Fresh Markets. And I could recall, I was saying in a meeting that one day we were in a Pete's in the south suburbs, and we literally had a line in the store to get samples from us. The manager came down and was like, wow, how did you all do that? And it was because my whole family was in the store, myself, my husband, my children. And we were walking around the store, and they were like, you got to go over and get a sample. Here's the problem. We didn't capture any of those customers. So, but now with this AI system, I simply say what I did in the chat. I ask you all to text 2 words, bean pie, to that number. And then I have you as a customer, you can keep up with me and I can keep up with you. So that's just one aspect. But, and you talked about the, building out your own community. So that's a good way to do that. And then through automation, I can also communicate with these clients as well using AI.
So tell me what that program is again that you're using to capture this information.
The TBM 360 AI system. You're probably familiar with Cassie, Opia, Uhuru of the Black Mall.
Yes.
Imani,
Yep,
you said TBM, B as in boy?
Yes, like the Black Mall.
Oh, the Black Mall.
Oh, it's the Black Mall 360 AI. Okay.
Yeah, I could actually put the link to it in the chat if you all want me.
Well, that'd be great.
I just gotta grab it from my email.
Okay.
So it allowed me to, right now I'm working on a new website to connect. I could my memberships, my automation too. It's so many ways that I can connect with my customers, and I can schedule my social media out a year actually, but we schedule it out for like a few months. We hit all of the holidays and things like that. That way that's always active, even when, we get too busy. Whereas before it was kind of an up and down thing. Our posting, what else?
Okay.
There's so many aspects to it. It's ridiculous. We could generate pictures out of there. I generate things like when I'm running out of content, as specific as you are with the chat is what works for you. So I may ask them to give me something funny, about bean pies or homes, or or just anything. And it just gives me all this different content and make it easier for my life.
Well, you're a good referral. I'm certainly going to go over there and look at it. I'm learning AI. I know a little bit about it, and a little bit I know about it I like, and I like the things that you just said. I don't know her, but I know of her. I've seen her and I've talked to her, but I'm not in her clique over there. I know they do a lot of things over there on the South Side, and I got to come over to the South Side and get me some food too, real soon, because you don't deliver up here where I'm at. But I got to come real soon.
We'll be giving out soup and sandwiches tomorrow at 2:00 on 71st and Clyde at Mama Africa's Marketplace.
Uh-huh.
Mm-hmm.
What kind of event is that?
No, we just feeding the people.
Oh, you just feeding the people?
Right.
Okay. Sounds good. That sounds good. Very good. Very good.
Yeah, so Imani, I'd love to know about when you're doing those types of events, because with our urban farm and stuff like that, we can contribute, produce.
Oh yes, that would be great, because we're always making soups, and we also like contribute soups to like we did it bean soup for a couple of shelters for the Nation of Islam. It's a brother, Brandon Durham, that's interested in us helping him, because he's been feeding. We've helped him before, but he's been feeding the people on 79th and Cottage Grove on Friday nights for years, ever since my children were young.
Okay, so
Mhm.
our urban farm is over on 61st, just off of Cottage Grove, so we're right down the street with Dr. Shabazz at the Salon
Mhm.
Wellness Center.
Oh, yes. Mhm.
Yeah, so we're taking over that garden over there, and we're growing herbs and microgreens and things like that that the restaurants over there are going to be using in their recipes.
Oh,
So
wow.
Oh, that's
we'll,
great.
Calvin can share with you our list. So if you need herbs supplied and things like that, we're looking for places to distribute it. We're going to be supplying some restaurants. The people that are volunteering to work on the garden will get fresh, free produce. And then we're grooming entrepreneurs to take the produce to the farmers markets, and we'll probably start at the 61st Street farmers market over there on the south side.
Okay, sounds great.
Is this 61st or 67? That's 61st. Okay. Okay.
Yeah, 60.
Um, yeah, give me some more information about that and those little things that you're doing over there, and distributing and that type of thing. That sounds great. Oh
Yeah,
my
planting is
goodness, you're
starting next
so
week.
busy.
Yeah, planting is starting next
What
week.
starts next week?
Planting.
Okay. Okay. Wow, you guys are busy. You're busy, you're busy, you're busy. I can't even grow this little plant that I'm looking at right in front of me. But
Take my
I
class.
don't know what's
Take
wrong
my
with that.
class
She'll
if you have
show
some problems then. Sonja, come sit in my class.
it.
It's urban farming. So sit in my class.
She still won't water it.
I really
She still won't water it, Cal.
overwatered it. Yes, I did. That's why I moved it over here right in front of my face so that I could just nurture it or something. That it's pitiful. It's pitiful. It is really bad. But I'm trying to do better. I'm trying to do better, Kevin. So, Kevin, let me ask you a question. As far as the drone class, since you've been teaching, it's been about a year or so. How is that going? Are the people being really receptive? Or afterwards, are they going in being productive? Are they getting their license? I think I
Yes,
have
we've
another
got
question too, but go ahead, answer that for
yes. Unfortunately, I wish the numbers were much higher. We do have folks that have, in fact, we had someone that graduated or went through our class over at the Salam Center, and she took her test this week,
me. Mm-hmm.
passed it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm proud of her. But we've got a handful of folks that have gone through the program, and she is actually a real estate agent. And she
Mm-hmm.
wants to do something different and be part of that ecosystem from a different point of view. So the class is very successful, and we've shown our students that the applications are really unreal and really broad spectrum. So whatever field that they think they want to dive into, it's there. And then we've got some other opportunities that we're working on now, such as we could talk about this with the county using drones to survey our properties that are here. So very successful class. And if we had more students, it would be really tough for us to manage, but it's a great, great class. And it's free, by the way.
Yeah, and as you know, and working in the not-for-profit sector, if things are free, it's actually a little bit harder to get people to come down because they don't really have any skin in the game, and then they don't put the value on it until they're actually there and they're like, holy cow, this is an MBA in 12 weeks. Or this is, there are no other drone programs out there where you actually get flying time, right? We have simulators on laptops where you can, practice through simulation. We also have drones in the program where when the weather is clear, you can go outside and actually fly and start clocking those hours. Because you can have the 107 pilot's license, but that's like having a driver's license and never having driven a car. If you're going to start a business, you need to get 100 hours of flight time under your belt, and it needs to either be recorded, on your phone when you're flying, or have a certified instructor there to verify that you're actually, practicing and flying.
And one other thing to add, and I know you've got other folks here on the panel.
Great.
Sonja, one other thing to add, we're talking a lot about AI. And yes, a lot of students are a little nervous about what the capabilities of AI, but I tell all of our students to really embrace it So in two facets that we're using it, with drone technology, AI is very, very powerful. So imagine I could fly over plants and use AI to detect if I got silkworm or not. And if I've got silkworm or disease or bacteria, using AI, I could send it to a canister that could kill or treat certain plants. It's really remarkable where this technology is going. So I really, really encourage our students to embrace this technology. It's very powerful.
Yeah.
Wonderful, wonderful. I was really thinking about I did sort of cancel. I don't think we touched bases of doing a in-person info uh drone info business like we did the business empowerment breakfast, Philip.
Mhm. Yeah.
I was really thinking about doing an in-person, probably a little larger, in-person drone information session, uh, lunch or something like that with a box lunch or something. We'll talk about that. I didn't reach out because I hadn't planned any times, but it'll probably be after June because you are working on your event right now.
Yeah.
Yes.
So I
And
think that may get some response.
yeah, we
Mhm.
started this off with just a one-off introduction to drones class, or just a one
Mhm.
workshop. So, and now it's 12 weeks.
I got you. That's a change, isn't that something? But that's okay.
Yeah.
All things start like that
And so
with the first step.
we will be doing drone demonstrations on our day out, June the 1st. So if you know someone that is slightly or remotely interested in learning about the capabilities of drones, we'll have a
Hmm.
fleet of drones that we're going to show some of the capabilities during that day.
Okay, drone. Okay, demonstration. I can always include that.
Yeah.
All right.
Last year we just had Calvin picking up water bottles and dropping them in the garbage can. Which is pretty cool.
They don't know your value, Kevin. Bill, did you have a question?
Yeah, I did. I have a question for Calvin. And with drone technology, a lot of times I personally think about drones as a way to take pictures with cameras, right? But drones are some of the most powerful weapons in the U.S. military, and the gambit that drones run. So how do you I guess maybe convey to students that drones aren't just about taking pictures or whatever, but that there is a huge ecosystem for drones, and also that there are ways that you can innovatively use drones to maybe even start your own business, right, in an innovative way. If you could speak to that a little bit.
Well, so for 12 straight weeks at 2 hours a week, the only thing that we talk about are the magnitude of drone applications. In fact, I demonstrate what I say we can do. So if you want to be able to fly robotically or without a remote controller, I can show you how to point at a map and show your drone how to fly. We did
Mm.
roof surveys one day. We did an agriculture application of drones. We talk about the ways that the industry is exploding with product delivery using drones. So we spend just 12 weeks exploring all of those careers. And at the end, they have to create a capstone project and talk about starting up a new business. So they take this idea and at the end present what a new idea looks like. And having that, now they're prepared to go into Phil's um, class with these great ideas that need some tinkering and massaging to put into a real business model. And then the
Mhm.
second class, they can't start this business until they have their license. So the next 12 weeks, they're going to sit with me and I'm going to show them what they need to pass the Part 107 FAA flight license. And that's
Yeah.
what
Thank you, Kevin.
Yeah, and see, Bill, everything that we do at Entrepreneurs Academy, whether it's culinary arts or urban farming, it's all about starting a business in there, generating revenue, creating wealth. 80% of the people that are coming into our programs, they're just really trying to increase their household income by 50 to $75,000 a year. right? If you go from a household income of 50,000 to 125,000, that's a big change, right? And that's one of the things that we push. Entrepreneurship isn't always about becoming a multimillionaire. It's about quality of life, right? And so, how can I use these new skills that I learn in these different programs and generate revenue with it? And the thing in my entrepreneurs class, the number one thing I tell you is the best thing you can find out from taking this class is you are not meant to be an entrepreneur. Just go get that job, right? Just go get that job. But here's some skills that if you want to do a side hustle, if you want to, get into a little bit of photography, and we use photography as the entrance point for drones, because if we start talking about soil samples right away, or silkworms, and figuring out that it's so far out of their life's experience, they almost can't imagine it yet. But if we start with photography, everybody is comfortable with that. Everybody's got one on their phone, and now I can get a shot from the air, and now I can see the world from a different perspective. That draws them in, and then we expose them to all the other possibilities. And once they wrap their mind around the photography, it's much easier to wrap their mind around all the other applications.